Good afternoon. This is Deb Amlen for the New York Times, and welcome back to Crosswords Live. I'm here today with my solving buddy, Sam Ezersky. Welcome back, Sam.
Good to be here, Deb. As always, happy Thursday to you.
Happy Thursday. It's not quite Friday yet, but we can, maybe we can push it forward a little bit by taking a break from the news and a break from life and a break from work if, lucky enough to have work, and do a puzzle together.
Sounds good to me. I'd take a break from work to solve a puzzle with you.
Okay, even though it's even though that is your work. Um, Today's puzzle is by Tracy Bennett, and I am so excited to see Tracy back in the rotation. Tracy is a wonderful constructor. She is one of the co-editors of the Independent Incubator puzzles, which are made and edited by women and women allies and people who identify as women. And she is also the constructor of the X Games crossword puzzle for Bust magazine. And we haven't seen her since 2016, but she's back.
She's back. She's been making a lot of puzzles though. Also, that's if you're listening and Googling, that's incubator spelled with a K. If you Google incubator
Right.
crosswords, that's
Yeah. Highly
subscribe.
recommended. They're very good puzzles.
They are.
And while we're at it, while we're talking about puzzles and submitting them to the New York Times, I just want to take a break and let you talk a little bit about the new process for submitting puzzles.
Yeah, guys, exciting times. I mean, I don't know if there are some fellow instructors listening, but we've always had a traditional slow moving snail mail system for submitting crosswords to the New York Times. But now you can submit your puzzle digitally and it's going to go directly to us.
That's
Um,
right.
you can find out more on the New York Times crossword submissions page. You can literally just Google NY Times crossword submissions and it'll take you there. And you can even attach your own PDF manuscripts. We would love to hear from you. Send a puzzle, send us an idea. It'd be great to see your work.
So instead of waiting, a really long time for a response, get your puzzles in online now. That's a
Yeah,
terrific move forward. I really applaud that, Sam.
that's the goal. That's the goal.
And shout out to our developers who helped make that happen.
Game squad, indeed.
Game squad for the win. Well, you know what? I think we should dive into the puzzle. We've got Kathy O is here saying pillow bomb. I think she saw your bee pillow.
Indeed, indeed. Happy bee. Happy
And
time.
Aaron Daniels is here. He says, "Yay for the break! Excited for this puzzle. Cool summary haircut. Thank you, Aaron."
Yeah, shout out to
I,
Deb's
I
haircut.
had out. I got a little frustrated with the tangle that was my head and buzzed most of it off, but I left, some spikies on top. And I got to tell you, this is great. I am so much not hot and sweaty anymore.
Looks good. Short
Thank
short
you.
hair gang here. We 2 weeks ago
Absolutely.
we were both sporting. I think we've cut the amount of hair we had by like a factor of 10.
I think
I
we
got
made a
absolutely
whole new
shorn.
person out of our hair,
A
doesn't it?
whole new cousin it, right? Yeah.
That's right. Now, I have to say, I'm going to freely admit, Sam,
Yeah.
that this puzzle got me. It got the better of me.
It did. How
It
so? It was a
did.
tricky one.
It's very, and it's not even Saturday yet. Uh, I probably was not braining very well when I solved it. And I just had a hard time finding a way. I solved a couple of the short ones.
Yeah.
And Nicole Xavier says, loving the new Deb. Hey, thanks, Nicole.
What's
Billy
up, new
says,
Deb?
yeah, this was a discouragingly difficult puzzle. I'm new at Thursday Puzzles. Well, Billy, that's okay. You're going to find some difficult puzzles. It shouldn't be discouraging, but even I found it difficult. And I'm someone who, I mean, Thursday's my favorite day of the week. So sometimes you're on the wavelength with the constructor, and sometimes your brain just totally betrays you, which is what happened to me.
I'll also say purely analytically, on the constructor editing side here. I mean, this is the reason why we made this puzzle a Thursday, which is evident. It's not the craziest Thursday theme in the world, but because this grid is so wide open. I mean,
Yeah,
there's stacks of these 8-letter answers crossing these tens, this whole chunk of sixes in
love
the
those
corner.
long downs.
It's tough. It's just formidable to look at, right?
It
I
is
mean,
really pushing toward Friday,
yeah,
except that it has a theme.
it's masterfully constructed too, as
It
we'll see. I
really
mean,
is.
there's a ton of great stuff in this puzzle.
And Maria Lanigan says difficult puzzles are fun. You just got to put it down and come back to it. Uh,
Exactly.
Kimberly number 2 is asking if I got a haircut. Yes, yes, I buzzed my hair um, and left a little bit. I'm going to get into the puzzle, but I'm happy to answer any questions toward the end as to why and how.
Keep them coming, Solvers.
That's right. But
Gimme today, Gab.
let's save that for the end. I want to get into this puzzle. I really liked it. Even having been um, sort of trounced,
Yeah,
heavily trounced by this puzzle.
getting
Um,
trounced is fun, right? I mean,
yeah, I like being fooled. The clues were tight. Um, I wasn't quite sure. I got the theme totally. It hit me in two parts.
good.
Yeah, Donald Neeson says buzz cut. Yep, buzz cut. But where would you have started? Even the fill in the blanks were very difficult for me,
I
at least.
mean, this one, I'm just going to jump right to
Oh,
41
okay. Go
across
ahead.
very shamelessly because, sometimes we talk about how even on a tricky Thursday puzzle, you're bound to have something, just something in your wheelhouse that you
Yeah,
just know.
there's
For
always
this
going to be
one,
a gimme.
yeah, for me today, would not have been a gimme for many people, but you talk about different wheelhouses, different backgrounds. I know that the flagship school abbreviation with famed Serpentine Garden walls is my alma mater, University of Virginia, Wahoo Wah.
Wahoo wah,
So
Sam.
you can just throw that in there, no problem. And
But
then you're off to the races, right?
that's an unusual clue. I mean, that's the kind of thing where you really kind of have to have been on the campus to
Yes.
know that. I don't know how famed is that from a non-alum perspective.
Gosh, I mean, I don't know. It's we wanted to make the clue sound worth knowing, right? And it's
Yeah,
definitely, I'd say, an iconic feature of the grounds.
but
Um,
that's also a really good thing for talk about learning experiences and solving. I actually looked it up.
yeah,
I
good,
looked it up to
excellent.
find out, and wow, now I know.
Now you know. This was,
Yeah.
I mean, this was a clue that Joel Faliano, the digital puzzles editor, he actually had in mind. And he reached out to me for it. He's just like, "Is this right? How right would you say this is?" I was like, "And on accurate, fresh clue." It's hard to
It
get
is
fresh clues
fresh,
for universities and puzzles actually because they show up so frequently.
right?
Friendly letter
Now,
path.
I mean, if you want to talk about things that are in my wheelhouse, 44 Across was a gimme for
Ah,
me with Scandal creator Shonda Rhimes.
Shonda Rhimes, Grey's Anatomy.
That's
Excellent.
right. Nicole Xavier says 20 down is fop, which is a nice crosswordy
I,
word.
yes, indeed. And that it's actually tough because dandy is here as a noun rather than an adjective. But
Yeah,
yes, indeed. Dandy,
exactly.
a
I'm
Dapper
guessing
Dan.
that's just dandy. Uh, Kimberly number 2 said I never would have gotten the UVA clue. You know what though? But
That's okay.
let's look at the crossers. Let's look at 20.
I mean, look
Yeah,
at
20.
26 down. Yup, ending in
Uh-huh.
UH has got to
Yeah.
be, I love that
Right.
answer. That's the kind of answer we'd give a check in our
And
crossword
this
mandatory
is
stuff.
kind of legalese, but I think it's 39 down.
Yep. Blank
Ovo.
from the beginning.
Right. It's which egg, ovo is egg. So you talk about chicken and the egg, which came first. The egg probably came first.
Yeah.
So from the beginning on, ab ovo, and
Ab
that's worth
ovo.
remembering for crosswords.
And it is worth remembering. And if you didn't know, again, this is another one. If you didn't know it first time seeing it, you should tuck it away in mind for other
Yeah,
puzzles because this is just one way a little bit of crossword ease like that might be clued.
right. Claire Refus is with us, and she says that 61 across is Amazon. Tech is her wheelhouse.
Indeed. Fortune 500 company that started out selling books.
I remember when they were booksellers. That was brand new. That was something that people had never big readers like me. As much as we like brick and mortar bookstores,
Mhm.
that was kind of like opening up the toy store and just letting that free reign. Now
Here's
we've got that
another.
Z
Go
there.
for it.
I'm sorry, we've got that Z there.
That's what I would jinx. That's what I was gonna go for.
Buy me a Coke. So what have we got there? Order specification. Huh.
I mean, just again, just one way I might break this down is even if I don't know this off the top, like immediately I might say, okay, what could that last letter be? Probably an E, right?
I
And
think so.
that might be just enough to get me size, like for any
Ah,
sort of clothing order, I
there
guess.
you go. Like I'm thinking of a food order.
That
Although
too.
you could supersize me, you know. Um, okay, so Billy, who says that this was difficult for him on Mother's Day, has a correct answer for 40 across. He said esos, those in Quito, and hashtag
Indeed.
gimme.
Our Essos. Here's
Very
another
good.
one I'd say this is a fresh clue. You talk about wheelhouses.
Oh,
Some
yeah.
might throw this in instantly, some might need every crossing. It's a fresh clue for Ness rather than a suffix, is the playable
Okay.
kid in the Super Smash Bros. Game.
I will say that I had to ask my kids that because I know about Super Smash Brothers, but I'm not quite solid on who all the playable characters are.
Yeah, there's a ton of
So
them. You're
yeah,
off the hook. There's a bunch,
okay.
even if you play Smash regularly. I am guilty of doing so myself. So,
And
you know,
Cormac O'Brien says 16 across is Minion. Apparently, children's movies are in his wheelhouse.
the yellow creature in a series of
Yeah.
hit animated films is a
That's
minion.
okay, Cormac. I'm right there with you. Well,
Excellent. Well
Neeson
done.
said he ordered a chicken and an egg on Amazon and he'll let us know.
What size?
Right, exactly. So Marie Lanigan says food order, large fries. There you go.
Wonderful.
But look at this. Now we've sort of broken in. We can build on this.
We're moving. I mean, insincere charm at 8 down. 10 down is suffix similar to SESS.
Oh, okay. I'm glad we have Minion now because I and a lot of solvers put in ETTE for this, et, as a
Ah,
suffix similar to S, the feminine version of something. But here it's a little trickier. It's ENNE, isn't it?
like comedian.
Yeah,
Indeed.
exactly. Del Neeson says 36 across is strobe.
Flasher at a rock concert. Indeed.
I
Don't
love
don't
that
read too
one.
much into that clue.
Right,
It's the
exactly.
light. Yes. Uh,
Now we have most of 36 down. Let's
yeah.
take a look at that one.
Packers do it.
What?
Do they stand the New York
Yes,
Times
they
crossword?
do.
We hope
No,
not.
but they scan things.
Yes, this is nothing to do with games.
Not
These are checkers,
right.
proofreaders,
People who check
copy
things.
editors. That hits home. Yeah,
Mhm.
indeed. Scanning the crossword for possible
There
possibilities.
you go.
How about
I
this?
want,
Go
oh,
for it.
go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say 9 down. The history buff wheelhouse wherever
Well,
you are.
that would be me. And honestly, I thought this was a terrific entry. It's so much fun to write in.
I
The
love
Moorish
it.
foe in the early 8th century were the Visigoths.
I just love saying that. That's an
Me
answer that
too.
like whether I learned it or not the first time upon reading this clue, it's just like it's dope.
It
I
really
have
is.
no other technical word to say.
I
Dope.
really have to say that I do admire a constructor that keeps up with their word lists
Yeah.
and puts in the good stuff and takes out the bad stuff. This is an exceptionally well filled puzzle.
It really is. I mean, Tracy and I, we have a special bond because we were mentored by the same constructor, Vic Fleming.
Your
So
Honor,
we're
Judge Vic.
almost crossword siblings in a sense.
There you go. And that's terrific. And we do have those families like,
We
the
do.
House of Fleming.
That,
So,
this 22 across. I love weird
oh,
looking
this
clues
was
like that.
great. I have to tell you, I almost had made this clue because generally my headlines for the wordplay column come from the clues. I almost made this my headline, and then, cooler heads prevailed and I did something else. But that's an emoji, or is it an emoticon or an emoji? I'm not
I
clear.
would call it an emoticon just because they use the dash for the nose. The emoji is the pictogram.
Hmm.
But who
Got it.
I'm no, we'll have to ask our lexicographer friends, right?
Right. But if you turn your head like this to the left, it is a look of surprise with two exclamation marks. So yeah, I would agree it's OMG or oh my
OMG.
God.
What are the any comments coming in? In the
Oh
meantime, I'll jump to
yeah, yeah,
27
yeah.
across.
The end of 37 across, according to Maria Lanigan, is cheer.
Medical profession. Okay, so this is a question mark clue.
Huh,
So
yeah,
maybe the theme's something punny, right? Those question marks indicate that there's going to be some sort of
that's right.
goofiness, right?
Now, and it's also goofy because, a clue like this that doesn't appear to make a lot of surface sense is usually asking you for something unusual.
And this is. So you're saying it ends in cheers, right? With a passion for pep rallies? That seems
Oh,
right to
yes,
me.
but you know what? Our viewers are way ahead of us, Sam.
Uh-oh.
And Maria and Kathy both put their heads together and came up with Doctor Who Cheers.
But what does that mean? That's not like a real
It's
phrase.
very weird, except that I know as a Whovian that Doctor Who is a television show.
And
And
so
oh
is
my God,
cheers.
OMG, so is Cheers.
So this, I guess that this theme is going to be something like Doctor Who and Cheers, and you put them together and you make a completely different phrase. That's wonderful. I mean, this reads so naturally too.
That's
Like
right.
Doctor Who Cheers, sure, whatever.
So what you're telling me then is that this is a mashup of two television shows reclued or reimagined as something kind of wacky, like Doctor Who Cheers, a Doctor Who
Exactly.
Cheers.
And I will say, you can. These are one of those themes that I think are fun because they might leave the solver to come up with
Yeah.
some on their own. So, commenters, I mean, if
Oh
you have
yeah.
just any of your own funny ideas for how to mash up two TV shows into some sort of pun, we're all
Right.
ears. But these three in particular are so, so good. That's why
It was
we love
really
this
well
idea in
done.
Thursday form.
Garrett is listening and he says that 12 down is collective nouns. What
Yeah,
is,
so we're back in we're
yep.
taking our SATs, even though
I'm flashing back here with the colons. Well, a pride is a group of lions and a knot is a group of something else.
toads.
Rope.
Today
A
you
knot
learned.
is a group of ropes.
Exactly. Yeah, no, fortunately, happened to dig up that a knot is a group of toads. Who knew?
Oh wow,
I
look at
think
that.
you'd look kind of
We
weird if you
we have
set
a
at the
ton of
bar.
I know we have a ton of comments coming in. Can I just let's play
Please.
catch up with those. Nicole Xavier says 25 down is Jay.
Ooh, so close, but now we have that W from Doctor Who Cheers.
Wow,
So
yeah.
would have liked that other one.
What is the clue for that?
A
For 25 down?
relative. Crow relative.
That was a tough one.
Yeah.
I had
I,
a hard time with that. But let's leave that for now. Del Meeson says 30 down is Ebro.
the Ebro, the river through Spain.
And
In
if you are not up on your European rivers, Wordplay has a wonderful piece written by Sam Ezersky during his hazing period here at the New York Times when he first joined us. He wrote a listicle for Wordplay explaining, I think it was 12 European rivers
12
you
European
need to
rivers you
know
should know.
to raise your crossword game. So if you're not big on those rivers, take a look at them because they will tell you exactly where they are and how you might see them clued, I believe.
Exactly. Yeah, no,
Yep.
these are they're hard to remember. I'll admit, when I started solving many puzzles, I would skip every last river clue known to man.
Yeah. They're hard. It's hard. Claire Rafus says 19 across is going to end in friends. I
Ooh,
think,
I like that.
the cat is the theme is out of the bag at least, or the theme is out of the grid. People are really catching on now.
What to
Um,
do if you want to win bar trivia? Huh, this one's fun to think about.
That is one. And I happen to like that one. I thought it was a really interesting mashup. Cormac O'Brien says if we're going for TV shows, 8 Down is Smarm, which gives us Friends as the end of 19 Across, which, yeah.
Insincere Charm is Smarm, but what's Eight Across? That's such a weird looking blend of letters.
It is.
SVE?
Huh. I don't know.
I'll wait. I'll wait for others to
What is
chime
the
in.
clue? Because it seems
Trim.
a little stuck. Well, that's borrowed from Yiddish, I think, and that's spelt.
Svelte. Indeed, I love V blends from Yiddish, like kvel and kvetch.
Spell and spelt,
So fun to
yes, and
say.
fetch. Judy Patel has got 19 Across. She says it's Get Smart Friends, which I think is hilarious. What to do if you
Yeah.
want to win bar trivia.
That's what I like about a pun like this, I think. On the side, when we're reviewing puzzles, on the constructor side, it might be easy to come up with a decent pun. But I think the art is really cluing it in an imaginative way.
Right,
You say,
absolutely.
Tracy said, okay, get smart and we've got friends. What's a way we can imagine get smart
Get
friends?
Smart Friends, right. Yeah, and bar trivia is perfect for that.
It's perfect, exactly. You play with your smart friends.
Yes. Del Neeson suggests that 27 Across is often.
It is often, habitually, often. Do you pronounce the
Now,
T? I do myself, but I feel like
you know
that's
what? My
not
kids
great.
do. I think that's sort of a newer thing. Often.
Interesting.
Yeah. Garrett says soccer clue at 52 down. That's Mia Hamm.
Oh. Popular takeout option at 52 down. Soccer.
That's what it. 53 down. Sorry.
53 down. That's the one. Mia who
There you
appeared
go.
in a
Ham.
Wheaties box in 1999. That would be Mia Hamm, the soccer great herself.
Exactly. Nancy Burke Osborne is with us. Hi, Nancy. She says
Welcome.
33 down is Moth.
Bulb circler. I like that.
That was funny. Very evocative.
Yeah,
Um,
indeed.
she also says 4 down is Pass Muster, which is a great
Ooh,
entry.
nice work. Measure up is pass muster. Well done.
Right.
Ooh, here's
And
an
there we
answer that
are.
shows up a lot in crosswords. 32 across. Iowa
30.
State City.
Oh, that's
What's
got to
that?
be Ames, Iowa.
That is Ames, Iowa. Remember your college towns.
Exactly.
What were you saying earlier?
I said, we're moving on to Billy Freeland, who says 28 down is Free at Last. Another really good entry.
Free
Those
at
long
last.
downs
That's
are
a
really awesome.
fantastic. And
They're
that's
what
been a
I
great
call.
and
I'm sorry, go ahead.
interesting clue. I was just gonna say it's just an interesting clue answer combo that's really satisfying to fill in.
It is. It really is. And those long downs, I mean, they're what I would call crunchy, which people
Yes.
say, well, what do you mean by that? Well, a crunchy entry to me is really interesting, fun to write in, well clued, and may or may not have high Scrabble, high count Scrabble the cores. It doesn't
Oh
have
yeah.
but I think, Pass Muster, Visigoth, Free at Last. I mean, those are all crunchy.
Indeed. Even in the middle. I just really like it's a bonkers looking pattern of letters, right? I love
Exactly.
all the adjectives that come with, critiquing a crossword puzzle. You've got all this juicy, crunchy,
Juicy and
zippy,
crunchy. Yeah.
fresh fill. I mean, it's so uplifting
Really,
and fun.
you need basically you need a mop to clean this up. uh,
Indeed.
Joseph Diefenbach says 23 across is used up.
Let's see. Depleted is used up. Indeed.
Yep. There was a lot of depletion in this puzzle.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why I was having so much trouble.
How about the 35 across? Olay, cousin.
Where are we?
35 across, right below used up. It ends in an
Oh,
H.
okay. Rah rah for anyone who can find that one out.
I see what you did there. I'm going to go ahead
Yeah,
and put
there
it
you
in.
go.
That gives us our duck is a relative of a crow. Today you brushed up on your blackbirds.
Yeah,
Right?
I'll tell you. I found out eventually because I looked this up so the readers don't have to. The answer is DAW. DAW.
DAW. I would clue that as a so cute.
Yeah.
I might have to try that in a future
Aw.
puzzle.
But doesn't that need more W's?
Exactly. You're right. There wasn't. We'll
Yeah.
have to do a rebus. WWW.
Oh my God. You know what? That's actually a fun idea. Uh, okay.
HTTP. What's that gonna hide?
Right. Del Neeson thinks that 59 across is sailing, which and it looks like it would fit.
It looks like it would fit. So the thing is that saline I know to be an adjective, and also I wouldn't say that that describes hydrochloric acid on the right, but that's just because I'm sciencey. But I
Yeah.
really like that guess. It does end in an e. But I'd say we should get another letter or two
Yeah,
for it.
let's get. I mean, that's a great guess, Del.
It's a
It
great guess. Yeah.
definitely fits, but I don't think we have enough information yet. What if
No,
we solve 54 down? Can we
let's see.
look at,
Style. Ooh, this one's tough.
well, it does it's a good argument for sailing because I think the answer is Elan.
Oh, well done.
Which
Gosh,
no,
okay,
but you
so we
know
have an
what?
L there too. So
That one appears a lot in the crossword. So that's one of those things that, is sort of a knee-jerk reaction. I see a clue like that. I know the answer is Elan.
and that's style like panache, like
Yes.
pizzazz that you used. It's a collective noun, I guess, right?
I
So
believe so. And Billy says that 63 across at the bottom is I'm next, which
it
is
is
another
I'm
great
next.
entry.
Another great entry. We can check 38 down too, ending in OX.
Oh boy.
Keenly observant.
Now, I will tell you that I went off totally in the wrong direction
Uh,
for this one. I really thought that observant meant somebody who sees things clearly.
mhm.
I did not realize that they meant religiously observant, and the answer would be orthodox.
Indeed. That's the only reason why I said it wasn't saline. I just didn't want us to get confused
Yeah,
with Orthodox.
but we still don't know yet because look at the letters. It still looks like it could be saline, and
Well,
Nancy Osborne agrees with orthodox.
so now we got
Um,
the D there from Orthodox. So it ends in ID. It's an
oh,
Id.
there you go. There you go. So let's take a look at 52 down then.
The
Popular
popular
takeout.
takeout option, huh?
I will
Taking out for
those
dinner.
two, yeah, if those with those two letters at the end, I'm gonna say tie.
Now I'm very hungry, actually.
Yes,
We've been
me too.
talking about
Oh,
crunchy fill,
I
what
need I
size
need
we're going to order, and
I
Thai
need
food.
some
Whew,
drunken noodles or pad thai.
indeed. So
Okay,
that gives us halide or halide, like a halogen.
halide. Exactly.
So
Bell Neeson has it now. Claire Rifus says 34 down is echo.
what?
What?
Resound is echo or resound, I guess. I don't know. I mean,
Yes.
how
Resound,
about
resound, resound. um,
um
Judy.
golden rule word?
Oh, now see, this was where you have evidence of when your brain stops working. I got stuck on unto, and I
Well,
couldn't
that's
think
because
of anything else.
that's what we usually use that clue for.
Right, and but this one is you're going to do unto others.
Others. You just had to make it to the next word. You were so close.
Yep. And, a lot of people are agreeing on Thai, and now I really am hungry.
Oh,
Um, Judy Patel skipped up to the top of the puzzle and says one across is RSVP.
yeah, and that's how we
Exactly.
Thursdayified that clue is we
That's
didn't use any
definitely
burst short or abbreviation or anything like that.
all right. Nicole Xavier jumps back down to 51 down,
Okie dokie, all the way over on the right, huh?
all the way, and thinks that the answer is whale. Except that we have that plural. It's a plural clue. So whale bone may have been used for corset bones and collar stiffeners, but I think we're looking for a group of things, like a like what they
Like,
really
what
are.
are these? Exactly, exactly. Still a good guess. A
Yeah,
cromulent one at
excellent
that.
guess.
I had
There
to
you
at
go.
some point, you know? Yeah.
We have that one little blank square at
Oh, let's go to it.
43. Let's take a look at that. Electrical
Electrical
problem.
problem. And muscles.
Yes.
So that's
Well,
short.
that's got to be, yeah, and a deuce.
Dues, of
A deuce
course.
does a lot of heavy lifting in the crossword puzzle.
Oh,
You
it
can
does.
do it so many ways.
Exactly. Kerfuffles. I love
Right.
it. Never run out. Brouhahas.
Right.
Never run out of ways to do it. Yeah.
Nicole Xavier thinks that it's busks, but it's not. Keep going, Nicole. You'll get this. Um, Wires. Nancy Burke Osborne actually has it. The answer is stays.
Indeed.
They're called
Tough
stays.
clue though. I mean, you wouldn't see that on a Monday or Tuesday for sure. You just have like, hangs tight or lingers around.
Right.
But
Now, Del Neeson is on his way to cracking the third. Is it the third theme entry?
yeah,
He says it's
predictable risk.
The Soprano or The
Ooh, so The
Soprano.
Sopranos is a show. I like that.
Yeah. And what would be the predictable result of a choir's Barry White singing contest? This one cracked me up.
You need that extra bit of knowledge about Barry White. So
Exactly. He had that wonderful baritone singing voice. So what would happen if a choir entered a Barry White singing contest? Oh,
well, let's chew on this
Billy,
for a bit more.
yes, Claire says the last word is lost, and that's the joke. The Sopranos
Eh,
lost the Barry
Sopranos
White
lost.
singing contest. Billy says someone in the column comments didn't know who Barry White was. I wanted to send some LPs. Oh, that's nice of you, Billy. Um,
Everybody's got
Barry,
their wheelhouses.
absolutely. Barry White is not with us anymore, but I will say that you've probably heard his voice on, you know, shows where people are trying to get romantic because his music was considered kind of sexy, and also parodies of the same because his voice was just so low. So I think that's a very fair clue even today.
Yeah. It's not your mileages may vary. This was just a nice snappy way to imagine it. Barry White said we didn't just want to say bass anywhere in the clue that might give it
No,
away a little
no,
too easily.
this was done very, very well. Millie Cassis agrees on short, and Del Neeson says that the philosopher, I think, is Chu Si.
HSI. Interesting
HSI.
one. Fortunately, we have good crossers, right? We've got
Oh, yeah.
Orthodox, we've got Spent Depleted, and we've got Sir for British title.
Right.
So we've got that all knocked out. Do we want to try the last two letters in this upper right here? That's kind of bothering me.
Oh, okay. On a par with in terms of tidiness. This was the only partial that I sort of found a little disappointing in an otherwise excellent puzzle.
So tough to get things perfect, right?
Right. So if somebody is tidy and you are just as tidy, would be, as Billy says, as neat.
Yes. And that gives us ENTs and lean. So
Right.
that again, a tiny, tiny blemish in an otherwise smooth puzzle, and I mean it's all crossed fairly too, which is fortunate. So even if you had trouble
Absolutely.
parsing that
George Anton suggests that one down is rouge.
one, ooh, let's try that. Actor's
There's
asset.
that.
Hmm.
Well,
So the
it's
asset,
there.
it's rouge. I guess you could put on, but asset seems like a weird word to describe that. I might think a
Yeah,
little bit more on this.
unless you're
I
very
like the
pale.
guess.
Right. How about range?
I
If
like
an actor has range,
range
that's
a
good.
little bit better because they can cover, a wide range of parts, right?
Exactly, exactly. Billy agrees on as neat. Billy Freeland says 47 down, agrees with spent. Judy Patel thinks 17 across net sales.
Profit column figure. Indeed, nice work.
There you go. Very good from very few
Now,
letters.
Deb, I think we should go to 2 and 3 down just to take a look at these
Okay.
clever pair of clues. We've got Snorty Ride at 2 down, and then we've got Sporty Ride in
I
4 1. I
love
mean, that's
that.
just well done. Clues, sometimes the clues can save an otherwise thorny section of a puzzle. It's
Exactly. And it's not a twin clue, but it's really a fun play on twin clues. Sporty ride informally has got to be vet, short for Corvette,
Hmm.
and Billy Freeland agrees. And now snorty ride, that's got to be something or someone who snorts.
While you ride it, yes.
Yeah. I
We
mean, we know, and people have mentioned that 21 across is edema or edema.
cause of swollen feet and ankles. I'm gonna ask the doctor who cheers for help pronouncing that.
So maybe then that two down is steed.
Ah,
Horses snort.
yes, like your mount, your
Yeah.
horse. Indeed.
Very good. So Billy says 60. If we can just jump down to 65 across, a lot of people have been shouting out tens
Indeed,
because this,
striped blue balls in a
right.
pool.
People had a lot of fun with that clue on wordplay today because
I
they do
think.
like to play with words. But
Uh-huh.
we're talking about a billiard ball,
Of course.
right?
Indeed.
And nothing else.
Don't read into it. Don't
So
read into it.
yeah. Okay, so we've got Claire Riffus who says five down is Gila monster.
Indeed, the Gila monster, and
Yes.
that
Oh, I'm sorry. Is
gives.
that a soft?
I always thought it was a soft. Or is that a soft G?
I
Soft
don't
G is
know.
J, like Jiff.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But
Or is it a Gila monster? I don't know. I always said Gila.
I'll wait. I'll
Oh,
weigh in for the commenters. I know the river is pronounced Gila, but I don't know if maybe the
okay.
monster can be pronounced both ways.
Nancy Burke Osborne says it's edema. So now
Edema. Okay,
today I learned.
accent on the
Thank you,
second
Nancy.
syllable. Edema.
Uh,
Edema Menzel.
yes. God. 14 across. I think somebody had already said that is eight alive.
Eight alive. That's so tough to see until you put a
It
space in
really
between that
is.
third and fourth letter there, right?
But we do have llamas for teachers of Dharma.
We do. The one F, of course.
Yeah. Garrett says it is Gila because it's Spanish.
Okay. Well, there we
And
go.
today I learned. Nicole Xavier agrees with llamas. Hunk. This was a tough one. When I see the word hunk, my brain goes certain places. Apparently that was not correct today.
No, it's not. You're thinking
If
wads.
yes, and that would be gob.
Would be gob. And I
Yeah.
like both these clues for 6 and 7 now. The boss of
Also,
is one way for saying over. You're the boss of someone. You're over
right.
someone. And whoops, 7 down. Alternative to yours truly is just
That's
best
that's
in
how
the
I
world.
sign off a lot of emails.
Yep, indeed. You say thanks to me usually. I appreciate that.
Right. Yeah. Well, I think thanks is nice too.
I try and be
Uh,
helpful.
Del Neeson says that in the UK, which is apparently where he's located, it's spelled edema is spelled Oedema.
Ooh, I believe that. Interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. There are a lot of differences between British English and American English, and that's a new one for me. So
I've
thank you
seen the
for that.
spelling of apnea with an O
Yeah,
before the E. I
absolutely.
almost used that in a crossword once and resisted.
What, what else? Oh, look at us down in the lower right-hand corner. That's all we've got left. We've almost crushed this puzzle. Come
Oh,
on, you guys.
we should
We
have
can
seen
do this.
this one earlier,
Bring it
Deb.
home.
57 down. The
Yeah.
Lion King Queen.
Oh, well, Billy just said it's Nala.
It's Nala. Wonderful. Love the clues where you haven't seen them until way late in the game and you can just throw them in, other than have a roadblock where you're trying to finish the
Absolutely.
puzzle.
What else have we got there for some of the short ones? Oh, cause of just desserts. Okay, just stop here. This comes up a lot on wordplay, and I will tell you that this clue is correct. The just desserts that we all know about is not something that you eat after a meal. It's deserts, just dessert. It's pronounced desserts, but it's for just deserts. And there's one S, Deserts. Well, okay,
Indeed.
two S's, not three. And there's one wordplay to something that explains it better than I could. So, as to why it's just desserts and not just desserts with a third S.
We've even gotten crossword submissions before with just dessert spelled with a double S.
You
So
know,
it's a very common misconception.
it is, and it's a misconception to the point where I think it's almost accepted
Yeah,
now. But uh, given that we're the New York Times and we have to be accurate, the official spelling of that phrase is DESERTS.
exactly. The
Um,
official spelling of the New York Times crossword.
exactly. Uh, Del Neeson says 64 is say. I don't know where he is.
For example, is say. Indeed, it's a nice way. That's a nice way to clue that.
Okay,
Phrase it.
great. And let's see, what is 56, Dan? What's the clue for that one?
Yeah, so that's intro level info.
Huh.
Very intro level.
Yeah.
We've also, I liked this clue a lot. Get you something to chew on. Things many people work on all day long.
Fooled me. Fooled me. You know what? I was thinking in terms of projects,
Mm-hmm.
but you're being very hyper literal here, aren't you?
We are.
The answer is desks.
The answer is desks.
Love that one.
Indeed.
Love
Indeed.
that one.
Oh,
So now we have that K there. Can we go back to
oh
60?
yeah, let's do it. Cause of just desserts. Parka.
No, Kamala, no. If you get your just desserts, you must have racked up some bad karma.
Oh,
Oof.
you
That's a
you
great
deserve it.
entry, though.
Your
I like
commitment.
that entry.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a really fun answer in a puzzle. That was awesome.
it
This next
really
answer
is.
pretty cool too,
Um,
actually.
let's see. And Del Neeson got desks. Billy says 56 down, the ABCs.
The ABCs, that's going to help us even more here.
Kathy O had said, was guessing baklava for bad karma. That in itself is a perfectly cromulent answer
Indeed,
because it is
I
a
like that. I
dessert.
love
I see what you did there.
that. Just desserts.
Yes.
Um,
Uh, commencement. Now, see, I don't believe that we had this commencement week tradition at my college or at my kids' colleges. So I'm, this was a new one for me.
this isn't exactly what we called it at UVA, but there's at least something like it, or I've heard it at other colleges.
Right.
But
It's
that's going to be class
class
day.
day. Yeah.
It's inferable, which is helpful, right?
I
Now we've
guess
got two
so.
squares left.
Del Neeson was saying classified, but that's not really where the clue goes. The clue was commencement week tradition at many colleges. So we need a noun answer for one thing. That classify would be a verb. And the tenses, the parts of speech have to match. So
Looks like it fits, though. To their credit.
it does. It really does. You can almost look at the pattern of letters and think you know what the answer is, but it really is important to read the clues carefully. Marauding group. Well, let's see. The commenters on wordplay when I make a mistake. That would be a horde.
And then we've got a tough cross. The Ottoman Empire founder. Guess maybe
Yep.
not so tough if you know your history. But then this, actually. Community spirit.
Now, I
ETH blank
don't think
S.
of this as a community spirit, but I guess you can, if you use the word community loosely, as a group, I guess it could be. Now, before we type this in, I just want everybody to remember that we're going to close the puzzle and then we're going to reopen it and talk a little bit about the theme again, because this was a good one. I liked it
This
a
was a
lot. And I
really, really good one.
sped over it. So the answer, of course, is ethos.
There's
Okay, let's open that back up. And we have Tracy Bennett has given us a mashup of two different television shows that make a whole new phrase. And one thing I really like that I don't think we pointed out before is that the first television show is 2 words and the next one is 1 word all the way through. So that's really tight.
Nice extra bit of elegance too. Exactly.
Absolutely. I think that was terrific. Del Neeson agrees it was a really cool puzzle. And thank you. We have what to do if you want to win bar trivia, get smart friends. Then we have a medical professional with a passion for pep rallies, and that would be a doctor who cheers. And the predictable result of a Choirs Berry White singing contest is The Sopranos Lost. Awesome. All three
Boom.
are real shiny theme entries. I like the clues. Um, I really like this puzzle, even though it took me down. I mean, I'm trying to be a good sport about it. I
Yeah.
really like that kind of being fooled.
It's not a race besides. I mean, maybe
No.
you didn't get your PR on this one, but lots of, I mean, first of all, again, it's a really chunky grid.
Yep.
Stuff like Bad Karma, Class Day, Amazon, Orthodox, Visigoth, Eight
All
Alive
great
Cats,
entries.
Mustard. Tons of stuff, but hard to really break into until you really just have the gears turning, right? And some
And
tough clues too.
I have to say, I love Claire Rafus's comment. I love how easy, fun the Thursday puzzles are when we do them together. I get so frustrated
That's a
alone.
rallying cry.
That is why we do this. Okay, it's
Exactly.
always better when we solve together, and not only that, but it's really a nice social contact. You make a lot of friends, smart friends, this way.
Yeah,
And
you can get smart that way.
as long as we're talking about friends, I just want to say that tomorrow is Sam Ezersky's birthday. So I'd like everybody who's listening in to please wish him a happy birthday. Go to Twitter, the grid at the Grid Kid. Wish him a happy birthday. Let's make him blush.
Already blushing, already blushing. You can solve my crossword too tomorrow. So
Yes,
so you,
and
so
Sam
you
has
might be tweeting at me angrily as well, but
no, not at
hey.
all. It is an excellent puzzle. I've already solved it. And I have to say, it is a great way to sort of go into the solving weekend. So thank you for that, Sam. I think it's
Thank
very
you.
generous that you offer us a present on your birthday.
Fun for me too. Hey, you know. Gosh, I'm already blushing. All right,
So
we gotta cut
Garrett
this.
says, Garrett says, happy 21st birthday, Sam.
Can't wait to try
You
my
can
first beer tomorrow.
take him out for his first beer tonight.
Yeah.
Anyway, this was a terrific puzzle. This was a lot of fun. Um, Billy says, Sam, your tip of starting with the blanks has helped a lot, makes for a happy start. Millie is wishing everybody a wonderful and socially distant Thursday.
Indeed.
Uh,
That's a 15.
yes, and oh God. And we want to wish you a terrific Thursday as well. This has been a lot of fun. I hope you guys stay tuned. Next week, we have Chris Saliza from CNN joining us, and we will be very happy to have them. Later on in June, we have Rishi Herway, who is the podcast master. We're
Song
very happy.
Exploder. It's a
Yes,
good
we're
one.
having Song Exploder, and he's doing a cooking one now with Samin Nosrat.
Hmm.
Um, we're very happy to have these people on it. I think it makes it a lot of fun because, again, the more the merrier. We love to solve with
Yeah.
our other solvers.
We
Uh,
love having you too, commenters.
yes,
Thanks for all the great guesses and fun we have every Thursday together. Deb and I couldn't just do this ourselves.
well,
This
we
is a bit.
could, but it would be it
Yeah,
would
it just wouldn't be very fun, right?
no, it wouldn't be. We really like having a whole crowd. The more the merrier. And don't worry if you did not get something right. Again, I was taken down by this puzzle and I solve all the puzzles. I have a lot of experience. That happens sometimes. That's
Mhm.
what the backspace key is for. Del Neeson says, thanks, guys. Next Thursday. Thank you, everybody. I'd like to thank you for joining us. Please stay tuned for next week with Chris Saliza. Wishing you a very happy and safe Thursday. This is Deb Amlen and Sam Ezersky for the New York Times saying thank you for joining us.
Have a good one, everybody.